knows what. And who pays for it all? In most cases, you, the taxpayer. I find that absolutely abhorrent. That's why 1039 WYAB refuses to accept advertising dollars from state government agencies. If you ever do hear a state agency advertising on WYAB, we're not getting paid for it. We stay on the air due to the support of the many businesses that you hear advertising every day on 1039 WYAB. So I only ask that you please tell our advertisers that you appreciate their support of 1039 WYAB. And keep listening.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are the individual views and opinions of the people expressing them and do not necessarily reflect those of this radio station, its parent, affiliated, or related entities, agents, or employees.
If it feels like the world's gone a little crazy lately, you're not wrong. They say parents should have a voice. But what happens when no one's listening? Forget the noise, the narratives, and the nonsense. It's time to have real conversations, stand up, speak out, and shine a light on what's really happening inside our schools, our systems, and our government, and what it really means for your family. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show, where we believe in truth over talking points, facts over feelings, and the courage to say what others won't. Because when it comes to our kids, silence is not an option.
Only in America, dreaming.
Happy Monday, everyone. Welcome into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We are live here in the WYAB studios, streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. Of course, you can always find us on your FM radio dial 1039. And of course, you can stream the audio version of all of our WYAB shows right there at WYAB.com, streaming worldwide. I'm not sure how many people around the world are actually listening, but we are streaming there. So check us out. We are joined in studio today by my buddy, the one and only Mr. Jimmy Nichols. Hey, Jimmy.
Hey, Lindsay, how are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing good.
I'm doing good. You got some sense these days?
Yeah, you made me, the first time we met, you made me a little nervous.
I told him I was going to tell the story of how we first. So, okay, it's a funny story looking back on it now. So several years ago, we were on opposite sides of a campaign that happens every now and then, but I didn't know Jimmy. And I walked up on him at the Neshoba County Fair. I was standing next to Clay. I said, Clay, is that Jimmy Nichols? And he said, yeah. I said, Jimmy, get over here. We need to talk. We got to have a serious conversation. And he looked at me like, what in the world?
I thought I was in deep trouble. Yeah, we had, you said we were on opposite sides. We had different candidates, but I think you and I think a whole lot alike about a lot of stuff. And we figured that out, and we're now friends and have been. And, you can call me, and I think I can do the same with you.
Absolutely. No doubt about that. In fact, I called you the other night because you had, I guess, it had slipped your mind. They're supposed to come on the show, and we were going to talk about this big event that you have coming up. And so I ran into your sweet boy the other night, and I said, you know what? I'm going to call your daddy right now because he has not called me like he was supposed to. We got to get him scheduled to be on the show. So
we got it straight.
We got it straight. So we are glad to have you here, and glad that we worked all of our differences out. Jimmy, how are you going to pick your campaign back up and run again for the county line?
If you hear me running for anything, that's what it will be for. Campaigns and politics tend to have some, it's got some great sides, also got some dirty sides. And so, I would be that guy that would have to just go ahead and come to the podium first day and say, look, ladies and gentlemen, y'all going to hear a lot of stuff. A whole lot of stuff. 95% of it's true. That other 5 is a joke. So, yeah, I'm not running for any public office. I can promise.
Well, you've been doing this a long time, so all the dirty secrets and the ins and outs of politics. But you also get to use your position to do a lot of really good things too, and that's what we want to talk about today. Is this big event that you have coming up, and this is the what year?
17th.
Oh my goodness. I didn't realize you'd been doing it that long.
Yes, ma'am.
But so I told y'all a while back, Jimmy didn't have a whole lot of sense. So you were on a TV show.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that TV
Well,
show.
it started off as a crazy hobby with a bunch of guys a bunch of rednecks from out in the woods, going up to Lake Washington. We used to go out and boat and have fun, do things that guys do, you know, when they all get together. And one of our hobbies was, or for a couple of us, we fool with snakes a little bit. So we would catch, you know, we'd get out in the lake and catch a few snakes and let our friends look at them. We were trying to teach them, you know, that, hey, all of them's not bad.
How'd you catch them?
You just get in the water and swim over to wherever they lay it and grab them. And so we did that for a while. And we had people following us around and shooting videos and doing different stuff. So one night we had started making some little DVDs that we did ourselves. We would send them out to California and have them labeled and boxed and you know, ready to sell like in stores. We used to watch TK and Mike. They had hunting videos that were kind of comical. So we thought
I remember that.
Yeah. So we thought we'd do something with snakes similar. And so we had our first 1,000 DVDs. I'll never forget it. We had to scrap up money between the four of us and send the money out or, you know, pay for the production of the DVDs, which we thought was ludicrous. What about $1,000? And
well, that was a lot more back then than it is
well,
today.
yeah, 1,000 back then was probably about like 5,000 or 6,000 now or more. But we sent the first copy of the DVD out to California. They, you know, mass produced them for us, boxed, labeled, did all that stuff. And we started selling them in little mom and pop stores around home. And before we knew it, we was ordering another 1,000, then another 1,000. We ended up making 6 different, what am I trying to say? Series. It's like a series of 6 videos. But we made 6 total. We ended up selling somewhere around 40, 50,000 of those things in no time. But when we were doing that, we put a video on YouTube that back before, you know, viral was really viral, that YouTube TV and all that stuff was non-existent. They just had the regular old YouTube, you know, you could post stuff to. And Facebook was still relatively small at that time too. But anyway, we posted one to YouTube and it had like 300,000 views that night. It was crazy. And that led to an interview, which led to another interview and another interview with different news organizations.
That's because these people were thinking, "Why? How are y'all so crazy?"
Yeah, they thought we were nuts. And so it led to a Fox National interview with Megyn Kelly and Bill Hemmer, which I thought it was a joke. I didn't think it's really Megyn Kelly on the telephone. And no,
I would know Megyn Kelly's voice anywhere.
Yeah, and she's like, well, I'm sitting here with
favorite.
Bill Hemmer, you know. And so anyway, they both chime in, and one of our other members at the time had already spoken to them just before they got up with me. And anyway, we went to a studio in Jackson and did a Fox News interview. It was ended up being a national, like I said, a regular Fox, and it ended up being about 9.5 minutes long. It was a lot longer than they usually will talk, you know, but they got so into what we were doing, they kept going with it somehow. Well, shortly after that, we ended up signing a contract with CMT and did a television show called Mississippi Snake Grabbers on CMT, which was later bought by Amazon Prime. And that kind of boosted what we were doing. I guess you'd say it had more people looking at it from not just a central Mississippi set of eyes, but people from all over the country, especially the UK, were watching it. I was getting contacted from people in England and Australia and all over the place. And so of course, it forced our Facebook following to grow a little bit back then. And so one day we were talking, and one of our members decided, you know, why don't we take 10 or 15% of what CMT is paying us and start basically making a charity out of it. We made a contribution to Blair Batson Hospital, and then we helped a hospice center up North Mississippi, Sanctuary Hospice. And then we targeted each year a child, and especially children with things like cancer, heart disease, things like that, because I don't think there's anything else in life you can do that is more gratifying or is beneficial for the community than helping a child. And especially ones that are going through, you know, just gosh awful diseases. I got a soft spot, for children and everybody, really, to be honest with you. But
Animals.
children really hit a nerve. I've been blessed. I've had 3 healthy children. I got 4 healthy grandchildren, and I can't imagine what some of these parents wake up to and go through when they hear words like cancer or a little girl we're helping this year has got erythrogryposis, I think is actually how you say it. I mean, we've had kids that needed heart transplants. But we've been able to grow this thing over the past few years, obviously with the help of people like your show and other shows and people who have stepped in and got it out there for us of what we do for these children. That in the last 3 years we've given 3 kids almost $500,000.
It's incredible.
And it's all 100% of it goes to the children. There's a little bit of expense, not for us, but expenses for paying for venues like the place we do the event. There's a fee we have to pay those people because it accommodates 1,000 plus people. And Cypress Point, we've used them to do some auctions and stuff. Of course, there's a fee that goes with that. Now they help us out a lot, but we still have to pay fees, things like that. But those things generate more money than the fee we pay. In other words, if we pay them, let's just say $1,000, you'll make 10 times that for the child. So.
And this is something, this doesn't end for you when the event ends. You are already working on next year and getting those donors and sponsors and everyone together to make the next year bigger and better.
Yeah, you got a grip of what we do. I mean, it's a never ending process. It's almost impossible because a lot of our sponsors are everyday mowing paw donators, people $250, $500, $100, whatever. We don't turn anything down.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it all does accumulate and goes to children. I'm not knocking the 250s and the 500,
right.
But as you can imagine, to be each year where we can give at least 2 people 100,000 plus takes a lot of 250s and a lot of 500s. So yeah, we have to, continuously be working at it and towards it. Of course, I have a full-time job. I can't, it's not a job for me. It's a hobby. So I have to differentiate, between the two. I can't actively do that stuff while I'm, officially working and stuff. So it's like today, 12 o'clock lunch break. So that's where I'm at for lunch, is hanging out with you. But
I mean, there's nowhere else you'd rather be, though, right?
Not a place. Great to be here.
Yeah. I'm not going to be out there grabbing any snakes. I can promise you that. But you were telling me, that's a small part of it. It really starts out on Thursday night and it goes all the way through the weekend.
We'll jump back in time a little bit. This is 17th year. When we first started it, we were literally nickel and diming trying to figure out how we could, snakes alone are not going to get donations and get sponsorships and what have you. So we had to think of a way to convert that hobby we had into a benefit. So things that bring people, though, are music, entertainment, and the snakes are a lure as well, somewhat, because it's different. I mean, think about it. Where have you ever seen a snake grabbing rodeo?
Only you.
It was labeled as the largest snake grabbing rodeo in the world, probably because it's the only one, But there are rattlesnake roundups and things that they do a little bit different. But this is actually getting in the water and in their element. Not, we're not pouring gasoline down a hole and running a rattlesnake out and catching him with tongs. We're actually going out into the water and hands on. There's no staging and way to fake that or to make it any simpler than what it is. It's grabbing snakes in the wild. And of course, we require the participants who come have to have a valid Mississippi hunting and fishing license. There are things that the Mississippi Game and Fish requires to deal with any type of wildlife. Even though it's a snake, there's still regulations, rules that govern them. There's a limit. Each person can only possess X number of certain species snakes per person. So we have to be mindful of that because we try to keep it as straight across the board as we can. Of course, all of us are retired or either active law enforcement or one's an actual assistant district attorney. So, we have to be mindful of that as well. We don't want to do something that would cause us problems with the Department of Wildlife, because we fully support those guys and they do an excellent job with our wildlife. And we've been looked at by them. When I say looked at, we've talked to them. We've talked to U.S. Fisheries and other people about what we do and whether or not each element of it's legal and it's not harmful to the animals. We catch and release, No snakes are killed or injured. We put them all back into the lake once they're caught.
I mean, I wish y'all wouldn't.
Well, we don't exhibit them. We don't do any of that kind of stuff. The only time they're observed by the crowd there is when we do the weigh-in. We count them and see which team caught the most. And then we document the biggest snake because there's a trophy for it. And then there's a trophy for each team that catches the most, and then the second most, third most. And, but then they're released back into the lake. But the cool part about it is this all takes place on the public lake, public waters. And like I said, we've been able to convert what we do into something to help our children. And it helps educate kids and adults as well about the various types of snakes that we have and that they're not all harmful. There's no reason to go out and kill everyone you see. I don't blame somebody that kills a rattlesnake in their flower bed. I'm not that mad at them, but
I ain't getting close enough to a snake to tell what
the reality is most snake bites occur either catching them or trying to kill them. Generally speaking, if you leave them alone, they don't bite anybody. Now you step on them accidentally and stuff like that. You can, you'll get bit, but I'm 59 years old. I know I've never known a human to die from a snake bite here in this state. And I've never known anybody to, other than, occasionally they'll cause some tissue damage and stuff like that, but you're going to survive a snake bite. They just, they're badly misunderstood.
Okay, if you say so, Jimmy, if you say so. We're going to take a break. When we get back, there's a whole lot more I want to talk about and about what exactly goes on. The other parts of this fundraiser that if you're like me and you're not about to get out into the water and grab a snake, you can still come and have a lot of fun. We want to hear all about that. So y'all stay with us. We're going to be right back after this break. 103.9 WYAB, The Lindsay Beckham Show. Don't go anywhere.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Need care at home, fast, reliable, and on your schedule? Introducing Home Care to Go, your on-demand concierge care solution. Whether it's personal care, companionship, or short-term support, Home Care to Go brings professional care directly to you when you need it most. Getting started is easy. Visit us at homecare-to-go.com to explore available care packages. Home Care to Go, care at your door when you need it most.
When pain or injury slows you down, relief is closer than you think. At Hometown Medical, we now carry professional-grade orthopedic gel wraps. Our wraps give you 360 degrees hot or cold compression therapy. We also carry Actimove braces made with CoolMax Air technology. From light slide-on supports to hinge wraparound knee braces, we've got brace options for ankles, knees, backs, shoulders, and wrists. Hometown Medical has you covered with our gel wraps and braces. Discover the relief you deserve.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. Windshield repair, replacement of shower doors, mirrors, and everything in between. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is leveling up. A whole new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris is now open at the Reservoir at Beethoven's Boardwalk in Ridgeland, right next door to Cock of the Walk. And the new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris will have all of your old favorites too, like the Acme Dynamite Balls and Garlic Knots, and the best specialty pizzas ever, like the Pig, the Sergeant Pepperoni, the Serpent Turf, and lots more. Come to the all-new Acme Pizza and Daiquiris location on the Res in Ridgeland, next door to Cock of the Walk. Antique Mall of the South has 14,000 square feet of pristine, clean floor space. Home to beautiful, timeless antique treasures. Antique Mall of the South is open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. Check them out online at antiquemallofthesouth.com or go to the Antique Mall of the South Facebook page. You can also read the dozens of 5-star reviews online. Come see for yourself at Antique Mall of the South in Ridgeland. Now open Monday to Saturday, 10 to 5. That's Antique Mall of the South, Highway 51 in Ridgeland.
From Mississippi, where faith, family, and freedom still matter. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the WYAB studios. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show. I'm, of course, Lindsay Beckham. We are streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and X. You can call in to the show today, 601-879-0002. If you have any comments, questions, if you just want to tell me how much you hate my guts, that's fine too. I've learned how to take it with some thick skin, but we also have a Lindsay Beckham Show text line if you would like to text in to the show today. That number is 601-879-4648. We are joined in studio today, the one and only, everybody's uncle, Uncle Jimmy Nichols.
I got a lot of nieces and nephews.
So if you are ever at Grip and Grin, you probably, I'm sure, have met Uncle Jimmy. You've seen Uncle Jimmy. He's usually hanging out with the dogs, and he'll bring the pets up there and introduce everybody to the pets who are looking for their forever homes and wanting to be adopted. So everybody loves Uncle Jimmy, and so do all of the beneficiaries of this big event that he throws every year, this snake grabbing rodeo. And I was telling Jimmy in the commercial break, the very first time I heard about this event, I was somewhere. I was talking to Ashley Deadeye Jones. I've got to give her full name from the History Channel, the
Swamp People.
The Swamp People. Thank you. And she would have my rear end if I didn't know the name of her show. But she said, come on out to the snake grabbing rodeo. Her and Chad were trying to convince me. And I was saying, you're joking, right? I mean, Ashley, I know that you kill alligators, but, or I guess they're alligators. They're not crocodiles. What's the difference between a crocodile and an alligator?
Bit.
They look the same to me. You have a gun when you're shooting, when you're killing those things. And she said, no, we just grab them. I thought she was straight up lying to me. I really thought she was joking, but no, she was not joking. But y'all usually have a few celebrities out there to promote the event, right?
Excuse me. So I got something in my throat all of a sudden. Yeah, we've been blessed to have people like Ashley, obviously, she just talked about, who had a very popular television show, Swamp People. She was on there for multiple seasons. I don't know how many. So she had a pretty good following. So she just kind of offered. Well, actually, I ran into her one night at Mud Bugs or somewhere. And somebody introduced us, and we talked. And I said, hey, you ought to think about coming up to our snake grabbing rodeo sometime. And she was just like, yeah, when is it? You know? So when Ashley came, like her first or second year she came, she brought a couple other people from the TV show with her. She brought in Ronnie Adams.
Mm-hmm.
She brought in Pork Chop and LaRon, who are still on the show as well. And so that helped us.
The pickle girl with their one?
Hadn't had pickle there yet. I mean, she hadn't got brave enough to come. I guess we'll call her out right quick. But we also Cal Cockrell, who owns Cockrell Farmers Market here in Sherry. Cal's got a cousin named Mike Cockrell. He's also known as Moonshiner Mike Cockrell, who's on the popular television show Moonshiners on Discovery. And then we have Brian Easterlin, who was on the show Forged in Fire, where they build different knives and swords and axes and stuff like that. And he actually won that show. You know, it's like a competition. He won it 1 year and was on it several times. But I mean, he had a whole series or a season, I guess you would say, with him. But he ended up winning overall on it 1 year. And then we have Heather Smith, who's been there once or twice already, coming back this year.
She's been on the show before. She's been on Clay's show, I know, a couple of times.
Yeah, I remember that now. Her and Ashley, I think, came on together. But yeah, she's also on a popular show called Naked and Afraid. I told them if I get naked, everybody be afraid. All right. I certainly would. But yeah, they, so we have a, pretty good following of TV personalities who actually come and they don't charge us anything to come too. That's the other cool thing. Now we do provide them a place to stay. And, which, the people that own Roy's store, Ricky and Big Ricky and Little Ricky Jones, who own Roy's store now, have 50 cabins and like 70 camper spots, which that thing books out a year in advance.
Wow.
And so we hold a couple extra cabins. They hold us a couple every year for the people like the band and for these TV personalities that come in. And so we've been very blessed with a lot of people, chipping in and helping.
Yeah, and that gets people there. That's an attraction to help entice people to show up at the event.
Yeah, we also had, I failed to mention, we had Uncle Si from Duck Dynasty.
I remember when he came.
So, people like that, like you said, draw an extra element of people who come. But a lot of people, once they come and see it, are going to come back. And that's kind of how it grew to where it is now. Like I said, we were struggling to find, if we had 300 people there, we thought we had a pretty good turnout. And in all honesty, now, especially when the sun goes down, there's, upwards of 1,000 people there every night. So it's crazy.
And this year, this event takes place Thursday. Starts Thursday, correct?
Yeah. You asked that a while ago. We used to start it basically on Saturday. And then we started growing. So we said, well, let's bring in entertainment for Friday night, because a lot of people would come in on Friday for the event on Saturday. Well, then we started having people booking their cabins from Wednesday afternoon through Saturday. So we would have a pretty good crowd there on Thursday with not really a lot to do other than just hang out in the store, which is a nice place. Don't get me wrong. They have entertainment inside the restaurant, and have a steakhouse on site, everything. And so we were thinking, maybe one day we move this thing Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, because like I said, we have these people here on Thursday that really don't have a lot to do. So this year is the first year that we expanded it officially for 3 nights. And
Mike and Leslie going to be fussing at you for not making the Lincoln Reagan Trump dinner.
I would love to be there. I really, when they told me the dates, I was like, gosh, but we're kicking off this Thursday night with a band out of Lake, Mississippi called Good Hope. And for you local people who have heard Good Hope, you know what I'm talking about. But I think they're going to be a good hit up there in the Delta, because they play some real good music, real good guys, and they offered to come do this for this benefit. I'm sure we'll try to scrap up some money for them, but Chris basically told me that they wanted to donate a band for a night. Now, it's a long drive to Greenville. Those guys are going to be driving, pulling trailers, bringing sound equipment, and performing. So, I'm sure we'll try to pass the hat around and pay them something. Yeah. But, again, people are kind enough to realize this is a benefit and this money goes to the children. So people give us a real good break usually on, what they charge us to come play. But right now, gas is, $4 a gallon. So I don't expect anybody to come for free, but we obviously appreciate the gesture.
Yeah, I was just looking at some of the music that you're going to have. You've got a Conway Twitty tribute band.
Yep.
Slow Hand.
Yep.
Bob Birchfield. They always cut into my show with the weather test. It's been every single Monday for the last, I think, 2 months. Kim Wade used to say they were after him because they would always cut into his. But then I came on air and they were like,
"They're tired of listening to you."
I guess so. All right, y'all stay with us. We'll be right back here to discuss more about this event and give you the names of all of the music acts that will be there and who will be benefiting from the proceeds of this event this year. Y'all don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. WIAB 1039, The Lindsay Beckham Show. Stay with us. We'll be right back. WIAB 1039, The Lindsay Beckham Show. Stay with us.
1039 WIAB.
Americans for Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit AmericansForProsperity.org. Be a part of positive change at AmericansForProsperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to ring partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Ream and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
ABC News, I'm Michelle Franzen. Talks between the U.S. and Iran suspended for now. Iranian media reporting that Israel is violating the ceasefire agreement by keeping up strikes in Lebanon. The conflict now entering its 14th week, along with the stranglehold on shipping through the Strait of Hormuz. ABC's Mary Bruce says Americans are feeling the pinch every day.
Gas is up more than $1.30 since the war began. There's a new analysis from Moody's that says that the average American household is now paying $450 more in gas and energy since the war started. So the economic pain of this is real.
In Colorado, a corrections department spokesperson confirming that Tina Peters is no longer in custody. That after being granted clemency by the governor. The former clerk convicted in a scheme to breach voting systems in search of evidence of election fraud in 2020. And in Laos, the race to rescue 2 remaining miners from flooded remote caves continues. Crews have located them. This is ABC News.
When you want your pine trees to grow a little happier and a lot healthier, call on Holcomb Aerial Service. When your crops need dusting, think Holcomb Aerial Service. From the farm to your own pine forest, Holcomb Aerial Service will stimulate growth, eradicate pests, and preserve the value of your crops. Call Holcomb Aerial Service at 601-668-6200. That's 601-668-6200.
What are people saying about Tom's Fried Pies in Richland?
I'm on a diet. I don't want to be down there at Tom's Fried Pies. We had a good time. When I tell you the crust was flaky, I'm talking about buttery. This was nothing like I've ever tasted. Ever. I mean, I've never tasted anything like that, man. It was nice. Atmosphere was nice. Everybody there was nice. Because I'll be back, even though I don't supposed to with my diet. I really enjoyed myself.
Tom'sFriedPies.com. Tom'sFriedPies.com.
Friday mornings at 9 is a great time to chill with us here at 103.9 WYAB. It's the Blues and Arts Hour, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Mississippi, Small Town Music, and Fusion Coffee House. I'm Chris Davis, your host. You'll hear from people who play, write, and live music from Mississippi artists and creators, and you'll also get to sample some of their work. And it's every Friday morning at 9 on 103.9 WYAB.
Bad decisions limit future options. Make enough bad decisions and you will destroy your life. Listen to The Flatline with your host, Rick Hughes, every Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m. here on 103.9 WYAB. Join us every Sunday for 30 minutes of inspiration, motivation, education, all without manipulation. That's The Flatline with Rick Hughes, heard here on 103.9 WYAB each Sunday morning at 8:30 a.m.
Hi, this is Rita Jensen with Remax Connection, and I want to tell you I've lived in Florida for over 50 years. I'm a graduate of Tri-County Academy, went there the first day the doors opened. If you're thinking about putting your children into Tri-County Academy and need a place to live, then give me a call. Without a doubt, the Florida expert when it comes to real estate. So if you need a place to live, give me a call. Rita Jensen, Remax Connection. 601-720-4037 or go to my website, ritajensen.net.
Sun coming up over New York City.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. We are live here in the WYAB studios, joined in studio today by one and only Uncle Jimmy Nichols, and he's been telling us about this fundraiser, the snake grabbing rodeo that he holds every year, Lake Washington, over in the Greenville area. It's a bit of a trip, I guess, but people don't seem to mind it. They show up. They love coming out and supporting the cause, especially. But tell us, Jimmy, about we're trying to get into that before we were so rudely interrupted by the weather testing.
Weatherman's tired of me and you.
Look, they're really tired of me. It's every Monday at 12:33. Here it comes. I should have been prepared for that. But tell us about the entertainment, what days they're going to be there, and who, so everybody knows who's going to be playing if they want to come out and see.
Yes, ma'am. So, like I said, we added Thursday. So this year we're cranking it up with Good Hope. They're out of Lake, Mississippi. And then Friday night, it starts at 7:00. Okay. And this year we're requiring an armband. And all the proceeds from the armbands go to the little girl and to the Marine we're helping this year. So it's a small fee. It's a $30 pass for the entire weekend, or it's $20 a day. And that does two things. It helps us with security. We're able to, check IDs as needed and put the right color bracelet on the kids and the adults and everybody. So there's not an issue with anybody trying to do something they're not supposed to do. All right. So Friday night, starting at 7:00, we've got the Slow Hand Band, which is a Conway Twitty tribute band. If you've never heard Shane Weems and his group, they're good. If you like Conway Twitty, you'll love him. You'll like him anyway, but they do a very good Conway Twitty tribute type band performance. And then right after them, we have Hurricane. Some of the guys from Hurricane, Russell McGuffey and Sherilyn McGee, and some of those guys, Shane Russell, some of those. Hurricane's one of the best, like, in my opinion, one of the best, like, late 80s, 90s rock bands out there today that are still performing in this area anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And then on Saturday night, starting at 7:00, we have an old band getting back together. They played for us there about 13 years ago. A lot of the locals here will know him. He's from the Greenville area. We had Jason Fertizzi and the Dirt Road Jam Band who have reunited for this event.
Okay.
And he called me back a while back and said, "Hey, look, if I were able to get my old band back together, would you let us play?" I said, "Man, I've been wanting y'all to get back together and play this thing since the last time you played it." So we'll have on Saturday night, starting at 7, we'll have Jason Fertizzi and the Dirt Road Jam Band. His daughter Ava is going to do a short performance right before he starts. So around 7:00, she'll perform for a few minutes, and then Jason's going to take over. And then we close it out. As soon as Jason finishes his performance, we'll have the Smoke with Bob Birchfield. And if you've never heard Smoke, one of the best 3-piece bands you'll hear, period. They're good. And Bob will be playing with them. Bob usually plays with his old band, but this year he decided to stand in with the Smoke. So that's going to be a little added, I guess you say, bonus for the Smoke. They'll have Bob Birchfield performing with them. So
when are you going to strap on your guitar and get up there?
I'll probably get up there and play one with a couple of them before it's over. I'm sure.
You're not going to end this thing without doing that.
I can't stand it not to. I mean, I wish I'd have spent more time in my past playing and doing that type of stuff than I had some of the other dumb stuff I did. So, but all right. The main event Saturday.
Yeah. So are the teams already put together, or can somebody just show up and say they want to enter?
Pretty much, but we let people do that as well. Okay. I mean, we have to put them with a team because we only have 5. We have team shirts already. You got a bunch of team shirts, like with that, whoever sponsored that particular team's got their logos on it, right? So we'll separate the 5 teams. And if, like I said, if we have some walk-ons, we'll put them with one of those teams. They may have to trail them, but if you're going to, at this point, if you come wanting to be on team, you need to bring a boat because their boats are usually already full. And so we will, at 9:00 on Saturday morning, we have a safety briefing to remind everybody you got to have fire extinguishers, throw buoys, and life vests and what have you.
So you can't be too hungover from the night before.
No.
You got to be.
And, I can't tell anybody they can't drink and operate a boat, but I strongly encourage that they don't. Not only for their own safety and other people's safeties, but the Mississippi Department of Wildlife and the Washington County Sheriff Department patrol that lake, and we work together with them. And we let people know there's a good chance you'll get checked by the Department of Wildlife. If you do, don't call me. I mean, you've been told.
Yeah.
So, but we'll have a safety briefing, go over that. We'll talk about the do's and the don'ts on the water. At 10:00, there's a sound off. Usually what we call a shotgun start. Some type of loud boom will go off, and they'll hit the lake just like a bass tournament. They'll take off, gone, different directions. the lake's 11 miles long and a mile wide. So they'll start working the banks of the lake, catching snakes until they have to be back at the pier by 2:00. If they're after 2, they're disqualified. Now we'll give or take a minute, because anything can happen with your boat or weather. I mean, sometimes rain comes up. You have, you can't driving, can't see. So, but 2:00, you return to the pier. Then we go across the road to the saloon, is where we do the weigh-in. We'll count each team's snakes. We will see which team caught the largest snake. There's prizes given for first, second, third place teams, and then there's a prize given for the largest snake. And as soon as that's over with, we do a check presentation. We introduce the past recipients that are on site, and we try to get them all on stage together, and then we do a check presentation to this year's recipient.
And those are Madison DeLoach, who's a Marine veteran, and then 2-year-old Salem Bennett.
2-year-old Salem Bennett has a illness called erythrogryposis. I think is how you say it. It affects your limbs. It twists, causes their little shorter, I guess you'd say, than supposed to be, and kind of bent. So she's been undergoing.
She's precious.
Oh, she is, and her mom thinks it's crazy because she won't hardly go to any man, but she'll come to me.
Aww.
She likes, for whatever reason, she likes me. And that right there make you, she'll come running to me, and it's like, golly. But she's had multiple surgeries and got to have a lot more. And hers are progressive type surgeries. As she grows, things will need to be enhanced, or I can't think of the word.
There'll be more problems as she grows.
Right. She's got a long road to hoe. Madison DeLoach is 36-year-old United States Marine from served in Afghanistan. Without getting too deeply into some of his personal stuff, he was involved with a helicopter crash in Afghanistan. Some of his buddies didn't make it, some did. He was able to save some of them. Some didn't make it. So I won't get to, like I said, I'm not going to get too deep into his past or what he's had going on. But as you can imagine, like any human would, there are some issues that follow that. We picked Madison for several reasons this year. A lot of people said, well, we know some of his family. They got this, they got that. Listen, it ain't about what his family has. It's not their responsibility to take care of him, number one. Number two, it's more of a honor or a thank you for what he's done and what he's been through. Because frankly, I think sometimes our veterans are neglected psychologically. I don't think some of them get. Now I know I'm not badgering or beating up on the VA or some of our organizations that help them, but these guys are everyday kids, guys just like we grew up, me and you even. And they leave here, go to some foreign country, and end up witnessing a lot of destruction, maybe death, and unfortunately have to inflict some of that death sometimes. So, it all looks cool on TV. And from being in law enforcement for 30 plus years, I've been involved in shootings. And I understand, I was also in the military, but I understand the after effects of it. You don't forget them.
No.
And you're taught as a kid, you don't hurt people. You don't do certain things. You do right and wrong. Then you're put in a position to have to do something like that. So it's a traumatic event for you, I promise.
And I would think there would be something wrong with you if you didn't have flashbacks.
And something wasn't right when you went. I agree. And some people know how to channel that better. Some people know how to handle it, or maybe they don't handle it right and it comes out way late in life. Because sooner or later it's going to creep back up on you. Promise you.
Yeah.
So you have to learn to compartmentalize it, but also you got to let it out a piece two at a time every once in a while, or if you don't, it'll eat you up. But anyway, Madison's a great guy. He's doing well now as we speak. He's got a good job right now. He went through some pretty rough times, and anyway, we're helping him and Salem.
How do you choose the recipients each year?
It's hard. Last year, the first year, we picked 2, and it was a little girl will eventually need a heart, and it was a little boy that had cancer. we got down, we vote. You know, we'll have people give us names of different people, and that's tough. I mean,
Right.
because we only really have time to do one a year, and so you want to help them all, but you also want to help them in a manner that's a little bit impactful. In other words, it really impacts their lives. They can, you know, $100,000 sounds like a lot of money, but today it ain't nothing. I mean, it's really not. You can
Especially
spend-
when it comes to medical bills.
And people say, well, they got insurance. So this one got that. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff around that insurance don't touch. You
Our
got
parents, parents having to take off or quit their jobs when you have a child that needs a
that happens a lot.
Yeah.
And then they got to struggle to figure out how to pay light bill. And so, you know, the one thing that we pray for and hope is that the parents funnel the money in the right place. And we've not had a problem to this day. In other words, make sure the money goes to help the child, not to take a cruise or to, you know, go to Disney World. Now, you know, I can't say I'd be totally mad if they took the child, but you know what what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to be mad anyway, but we just want to make sure the money helps the child. That's the main issue.
And I can imagine there's so many people that need the help. That has to be a extremely difficult decision to narrow it down and pick which ones.
I mean, you know, you're looking at them, you take the information. So let's just say, Lindsay, you sent me a kid, you know, and then somebody over here sends one, somebody over here sends one, and every one of them are worthy and need it. And you sit here going, how am I going? How do you make this choice? Do you flip a coin or you just have a vote or whatever? And last year we kept coming to a dead tie.
Is that how it became two recipients?
Well, yeah, kind of. I mean, it wasn't maybe, you know, we talked about it and one guy wanted, you know, like this one, not liked them, but you know what I'm saying? Well, this one seemed like needs it more. And I'm like, oh, you know, this one. And we talked about it back and forth for a few days. And then finally, I don't know if it was me or Joey Rigby. Somebody said, one of us said, why don't we just try to do it for both of them? And then, of course, you fear that if we break it into two, now you're going to cut one of the benefits in half, mate, which that sounds crazy. But again, if you drop it way down a whole lot, they don't really feel it.
And like you
they're
said,
grateful, but they don't really financially feel it. So that scared us. And last year, the year before last, we gave a kid $105,000. Last year, I said, we'll never hit that. You know, I just don't think, I hate being the
negative Nancy.
Negative me, yeah. But I didn't think we'd ever hit it, especially for two. And last year we hit it dead on. We gave them both 105. I couldn't believe it.
And that was the first year you done two, and you were able to give both of them what you gave the single recipient the year before. So you basically doubled the proceeds last year.
Yep. Now
so let's triple or quadruple them this year.
I'd love to. I'm gonna just be honest. And we do need anybody who wants to contribute to this to please do so, because this year was a little different, a little more difficult because a lot of things going on. We were in competition, not in competition, but we had a lot of other events going on right around ours. We had, you know, the weekend that we had to do the auction on was Easter weekend, which, you know, a lot of people were gone. Some of the people that normally come to the auction and usually spend a good bit of money at it were out of town, gone. Now they've chipped in, done some stuff too, but I'm just saying we've had a lot of, I ain't gonna say interference. Not Easter's not interference. Don't take that the wrong way, but a lot of things happened right at the same time that we had to set this because of availability dates, right? And so, but this year we feel confident that we're gonna hit personal goals, and that is this year to at least get close with Salem to what we did last year, and we're providing a home, a modular home for the veteran. So we've almost got everything paid for.
Love that. We got to take our last break. When we get back, we only have a second, but I want you to be able to tell people where to find information and how to know exactly where to go and how to get there. So y'all stay with us. We're going to have our final remarks here on the Lindsay Beckham Show on this Monday afternoon. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. 103.9 WYAB.
.1039 WYAB.
Americans for Prosperity
Prosperity is Mississippi's and the country's leading grassroots organization dedicated to promoting economic freedom and personal liberty. Americans for Prosperity advocates for limited government, free market policies, and empowering individuals. When given freedom and opportunity, Americans are capable of extraordinary things. If you are ready to make a difference in our community and want to get involved, then visit AmericansForProsperity.org. Be a part of positive change at AmericansForProsperity.org. Paid for by Americans for Prosperity.
Pops Auto Sales on Highway 49 in Florence is where you come to buy quality pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, priced to fit your budget. Stop by Pops Auto Sales today, where fair prices and superior service leads to satisfied repeat buyers. Or go to popsautosalesllc.com and browse our inventory and get pre-approved for zero-down financing with approved credit, with service contracts and warranties available. And guys, our truck inventory is one of the largest for any independent dealer, period. Pops Auto Sales, Highway 49 in Florence.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Hot weather requires us to run the AC nonstop. Pure Air Consultants can inspect your unit today to ensure your AC is operating at peak performance. Pure Air Consultants is your go-to Rheem partner that can get the job done and have you resting in comfort in no time. Locally owned and operated, they have proudly served our community for over 22 years. Contact Pure Air Consultants today at mypureairconsultants.com. Rheem and Pure Air Consultants to the rescue.
Now is the time to turn over a new leaf and shower yourself with savings at Mazda of Jackson. Mazda of Jackson has rates as low as 0.9% on select models, or spring into savings with up to $3,000 in customer cash with approved credit. Get to Mazda Jackson today, where certified pre-owned vehicles and hassle-free trade-in options are also available. Shop online at MazdaJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road.
Need equipment that works as hard as you do? Come see me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales in Carthage. Thousands of you have already made the short drive to see us at H&H for the state's best deals on CM truck beds, Big Tex trailers, Wells Fargo enclosed trailers, and even rugged Candy electric utility vehicles. At H&H, our equipment is built for the farm, job site, hunting camp, or anywhere around your property. So visit me, Noah Sullivan, at H&H Chief Sales on Highway 35 North in Carthage, or online anytime at hhchiefsales.com.
This ad is for all the guys who work hard and they expect their truck to do the same. At RPT Commercial, we have the accessories to help you on the job site. From names like Bedrock flatbeds, WeatherGuard toolboxes, Nap-High service bodies, ARE camper tops, deck storage solutions, and so much more. Stop by our new store on Highway 80 in Pearl and check with our expert staff and see what they can do to make the job just a little bit easier on you. At RPT Commercial, trucks live here.
From Mississippi, where faith, family, and freedom still matter. This is the Lindsay Beckham Show.
Welcome back into the Lindsay Beckham Show. Got just a few minutes left here on the show today, but we have been joined for the last hour by Jimmy Nichols, who heads up the snake grabbing rodeo. Y'all know you're not going to see me grabbing any snakes, I can assure you that, but it is for a great cause. And Jimmy, where can people go to get all the information in one place? Where to be, what the bands are, times, addresses, all of that good stuff?
Probably just to my personal page. It's Jimmy, Jimmie D. Nichols Jr. We also have the Grab You One page, but honestly, I put everything on mine now because it's too hard to try to keep up with two of them.
And I shared the flyer on my
Thank
page today as well, so you can find that there. And I think it's got the times and address and the names of the recipients and the music that's going to be out there.
And for anybody maybe thinking about coming Saturday, maybe just to watch, see what we do. If you were coming Saturday to actually see what we do, if you don't have a boat, then the best time to be there would be about 1:30, because at 2 we do the weigh-in, 2:30 we do the weigh-in, so you'll be able to see them, bring them in. You'll be able to see the count and all that stuff, and you're not right up there. You don't have to be anywhere around them, so you don't have to worry about getting bit. If they do bite you, it's not going to hurt you. All these snakes that we bring in here are water snakes. They're harmless. And so although we have had 2 on the lake get bit by cottonmouths doing things they shouldn't have been doing, and they ended up in the hospital for a day or two, but they were fine.
They survived.
So you came to a snake grabbing rodeo and you got bit, all right? So, but 2:00 ish on Saturday, and that's at Roy's store. If you punch it in your GPS, it's 7 Roy Store Road, Chatham, Mississippi. For anybody that may want to come, but it's an old nostalgic type store. It's been there for years. It's been upgraded a little bit since Ricky bought it, and got a steakhouse on site. Excellent food too, by the way. They have a saloon, they have a bar, they have just about everything you can see in any of these places locally here, such as like Cypress or any of these other places. And if you want to go back there, like during the summer to fish or whatever, he's got cabins. They're not available on that particular. Actually, he just texted me and said there are. Well, I can't say they are, but there may be 2 cabins available. But you would have to reach out to me to see about getting them because she may have just booked them. But
that quickly.
But he's got around 50 cabins and about 70 camper spots, I think. So throughout the year, it's a great fishing opportunity on that lake, beautiful lake. And quite frankly, I know you're thinking destination location, Mississippi Delta. It truly is a nice place. It's like I said, he's done a lot of work on it, upgraded a lot of stuff. The cabins are in excellent shape. He's literally remodeled or refurbished just about all of them. He built like 18 brand new, and they're done with white pine on the inside. I mean, it's like rustic, but it's not nasty rustic. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
It's somewhere
Farmhouse feel.
Yeah, and nice farmhouse actually. I mean, he did a real good job on those cabins, and because he told me, he said, "I want people that come to, instead of walking in and saying, I don't know if I'm going to come back in here again." He wants people to come and say, "I'll be back."
Awesome.
He wants return customers, not just all-time new faces.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you so much for being here and letting everybody know exactly what's going on. And I'm sure it's going to be a great event, and we'll have to have you back to tell us all about it.
I will, and thank you for having me.
All right. That's all the time we've got for today. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. See y'all then.